Hi, everyone. I'm Hannah Miller. I'm a leadership mentor.
And I'm a leadership mentor as well, but my name's Hanson Nguyen.
And today we are going to be talking about how to form strong relationships. So how to find that special someone while you're at NKU so you can get that NKU wedding discount.
Yes, because we all love some nice deals.
We do, we do.
Except that's not what we're talking about.
Do we get you?
Today
Um,
we're actually going to talk about forming real friendships and relationships while in college because those are highly important and will help you throughout your life.
yes. So let's talk about why strong relationships are important. So, for one, they make life more enjoyable. So, I know when I share an experience or a connection with something or with someone, that just makes that experience so much more better than if I were doing it alone.
Yes, I truly enjoy making memories with others because I stick more rather than if I'm doing it all alone and I have no one to talk about it with. But also, it truly lightens the workload when you have a strong relationship. You can always reach out to that one person that you trust, and hopefully they will respond and be there to help you, especially when there's just too much on your plate, and they will be there by your side, taking some off and relieving some stress from your life.
Yes, yes. I know I can always call Hanson if I'm overwhelmed and he will help me with whatever I need. Um, and so, by being there for me, by having that strong relationship with Hanson, my mental well-being is improved. I'm less stressed because I know that I have someone to turn to who I can definitely, know is there for me. And so that takes like a little bit of stress off my life because I know I have someone who's there for me.
Oh, yes, I definitely agree. It's the same way here. And also, group work is everywhere. I get to work with Hannah a lot often, and it's so nice. But once when you're done with college, you will most definitely work with someone in the future, no matter what your major was. You will at least work with one other person. So if you start forming strong relationships now, it will definitely help you in the future when you start working with a stranger and you try to figure them out and become closer with your own coworkers.
Yes. So, what are the qualities of a strong relationship? What do we look for in a good relationship? Well, one thing we look for is mutual respect. So I value Hanson. I value what he brings to the table. I value him as a person. And so by like giving, valuing and seeing what he has, I'm showing him respect. I appreciate his strengths. I appreciate his weaknesses. And I just overall like am grateful that he's here and he's helping me.
Yes, as Hannah accepts all of that stuff, I trust that she would never judge me for any of those things, which trust is a great thing as well, even though it's pretty basic and we all know of that concept. It is highly important because having trust between others shows that you can depend on them. And then on top of that, when you're honest with those other people, it allows you to grow and reveal even more about yourself and about each other, allowing your own relationship to really thrive and strengthen.
Yes, I can trust Hanson. I know he's going to be on top of our presentation, and that's one of the reasons why we have such a strong relationship. Another thing of a strong relationship is communication. So, communicating honestly and openly, and knowing that, like, I can tell Hanson things, in order for us to get work done. But, we're not going to be mean to each other. We're going to be very kind. We know, how I best communicate with Hanson, and what's, kind of appropriate for our relationship. That helps us, have a really strong relationship.
hmm And through communicating, we are able to find differences of each other, but due to our great relationship, we're able to accept those differences because obviously no one is the exact same ever. You most likely will have many similarities, but there will be differences. And to create that bond, you must accept and learn and grow from those differences. Obviously, Hannah and I have similar interests as we're both leadership mentors, which shows we love to be leaders, we love to make a change. But if you look at us, we look nothing alike. That shows that we were from different backgrounds, but yet we are still great friends right here, right now.
Yes. So we're going to talk about the 11 steps to building relationships. We really found useful a guide put out by the community Toolbox. It's from the chapter on, or it's the leadership and management guide, and then it's the section on building relationships. The community toolbox is like a free resource that you can get online, and it's for making healthier communities, making social change in communities. So definitely check that out if you're looking for other ways to strengthen yourself as a leader. But we are going to use an example throughout. So, two things that have a great relationship are coffee and donuts, as you can see by the graphic. And so we're going to be kind of like relating the 11 steps to coffee and donuts.
Yes.
Yes. So the first step is building relationships one at a time, right? So people are individuals, so it's very hard for you to make a meaningful relationship when you're trying to talk to like 5 different people and going in 5 different directions at a time, right? Coffee wasn't like trying to talk to bagels and danishes and donut holes and a million other people when they were trying to form a relationship with donuts. No. Okay, so you talk to one person at a time so you can make that like genuine one-on-one connection with them.
Yes, so be able to focus on only on one person. I feel that also shows you are being friendly and trying to make a connection. Not some connections, just a, because if you are friendly, that shows that you're open to this other person and willing to get to know them, which allows them to feel free to show themselves as well to you, allowing that connection to really start and to grow from there.
Yes. Um, so the third step is to ask people questions, right? So, people love to talk about themselves, but asking people questions is also a great way to find out what you guys have in common. So Hanson and I, we talked about how we both love theater, and that's one of the ways we connect. I asked Hanson, what kinds of things did you do in high school? He said theater, I said theater, and now that's one of the things we talk about and we connect and we bond over. And so having, asked him questions about himself, we formed a stronger bond, we have a stronger connection, and now we have a stronger relationship.
I definitely agree. If she never asked me those questions, we would have never bonded as much as we have. But along with asking questions, make sure to tell about yourself as well so they can get a grasp of who you are, some of your own interests, and really get to know you. If you just give short, simple answers, they will feel unwanted rather than thinking that you're really invested in trying to form a new relationship or bond with this person.
Yeah, it's really important to find that balance between talking about the other person and talking about yourself and kind of like integrating your two experiences. So the fifth step is to go places and do things. So now that you have your connections, now that you know each other a little bit, it's good to go and make new memories, make new connections, and have new experiences together. Now, normally, Hanson and I could go catch a movie, we could go to the zoo, that kinds of things. But with COVID, it's a little harder, so you have to get more creative. So maybe this semester you go and you say to your friend, hey, like there's this great online lecture NKU's offering. Let's go both, Zoom in and then we can talk about it together. And that's still a way to like have those experiences in a digital setting.
Yes, so even though we may not be as physical, going over the internet is still a great option to get to know other people and make new memories. On top of that, just accept people the way they are. People are born certain ways and just cannot change themselves. And so being able to accept this other person lets them know that you will never judge them, and you will be there for them because you understand and are willing to accept the fact that they are different. And if Hannah did not accept me, someone who is Asian and has Buddhist parents, then I would have not felt obligated to be as close to her. But she accepted me as for who I am, and I'm very thankful.
Yes. Oh, Hanson, I would always accept you. You know, Donuts accepted coffee even though it's a little bitter, and now they have this great relationship. So it's an important step, people. Another step is to assume that people want to form relationships too, right? So, even if someone maybe seems like they have a lot of friends, seems like they don't, maybe they're like a loner, seems like whatever you have conceived about them in your mind. As we've seen from this coronavirus pandemic, people love to be around other people. They love to talk to other people. And we're a very like extroverted people, so it's important to just go into starting a new relationship with the mindset that this person is also interested in forming a new relationship.
Definitely. And accept assuming that people want to form them shows that you should actually overcome your fear of rejection. Do not worry that someone will be like, no, I don't want to be your friend. Most people are not like that. Most people are extremely welcoming. And even if they do not want a new friend, at least you tried and know that you are willing to meet new people and let yourself out there.
Yeah, and you know what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to say, hi, my name's Hannah, and then they're going to ignore you and you forget about it next week, so it's okay. And then our final three steps, step number 9 is be persistent, right? So it's good to make that first move and introduce yourself and start talking, but then you need to continue making this connection, right? So Hanson and I met because we sat next to each other in student government, right? But we said hi on the first day, but every single week there we were. I was saying, Hanson, how are you this week? What is going on in your life? He was like, I'm great. I have these classes. It's going awesome. And so we really persisted. We kept talking. We kept, keeping up with each other. And then the more we got to know each other, the more we did stuff, and we just kept building. We kept building. We kept on with the relationship, and now we have a great friendship. So it's important to persevere through and to keep going.
Yes, I'm typically pretty shy at first because I like to be guarded and make sure that I really do trust these people. And Hannah was someone extremely persistent because we saw each other very often, and I started to truly, slowly trust her. And one of my first great memories was she invited me somewhere. She invited to my first bingo ever, where I actually got to use those nice big markers, and it was just such a fun experience because I actually also got to win. And now it's a new memory that I have with my great friend Hannah. So please, if you do make new friends, do not be afraid to invite them somewhere because maybe it's a new experience and a new experience that they will remember for a long time.
Yeah, so definitely get out there and do stuff and invite them. And then the last step is to just enjoy people, right? You're not, there's times to be at home and you're doing your you time, but when you are building relationships, you are getting out there, you're enjoying people, you're enjoying your similarities, you're enjoying the differences, you're enjoying what, they can teach you. And so you really have to be open to meeting different people, talking to people, and just enjoying every moment of it. Alrighty. So now we're going to talk about how building relationships applies to the college experience and to NKU, right? Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
colleges, yeah, there's so many different connections to be made in college.
Yes, so they start off with our professors, of course, because those are the people you see in class, and then student organizations. There are very many people involved with that. And it's just a great way to start some bonds there because you already have a common interest. And lastly, just friendships overall, because those are just some great things to have, especially through tough times such as college.
Yes. So, forming relationships in the classroom with professors. So, one way to do this is to attend class regularly. So, be persistent, be there, be ready to go, be on time. And, the more they see your face, the more they'll recognize you. And then that's a great way to start a relationship. It's just recognizing each other's faces.
Mm-hmm. And when you are at class regularly, you should be attentive and engaged during class because it shows that you actually care about the class. You are trying to learn, and it shows that your professor that you really do care about what you are learning and your grade, and that you're willing to learn these new things that they are teaching and not just taking the class.
Yep, they'll know that you care about the class, and then in turn they'll care about you, and you had the mutual respect, and it's a strong relationship in the works. So another way to do that is to just ask your professor questions in class, after class, before class. It goes back to asking them questions, about themselves, about the material. And again, it just shows that you care, that you have that respect, and that you're, excited to get to know them and to get to know the material they're passionate about.
And by asking, one way to ask your professor some questions is visiting their office hours. Um, I think this goes back with overcoming fear of rejection, honestly, because some people are just scared to talk to professors for some reason. I feel like you should not be scared. They will not turn you down. They are there to help you and are willing to help you because that's what they're paid to do. So please visit your office hours, and if you don't have any questions, at least introduce yourself to let them know your face and your name. If you ever do need help in the future, they're like, oh, yes, we've met before.
Yes, and those office hour discussions so often turn from, the important content things that you're there to talk about into, life goals, personal conversations. And again, that's just about, making a strong relationship. So in the future, if you need an internship, if you need extra help, they know you, they know that you care about what you're doing, and they're, there to help you. And then next, forming relationships in student organizations. So attend the organization events, go to the meetings, go to the special events, go to those things. So again, you're getting out there, you're going to these events and making these shared experiences with people. It's important.
And then another way to share experience with others would be volunteering. It's just a great way to get out there while doing something selfless, and you'll meet other people who are volunteering as well, doing things for other people, which I think is a great quality, and it could really start a conversation that way and seeing why they want to do it, how long they've been doing it. It just starts a great conversation and shows a common interest.
Yes. And then when you're at these events and these volunteer days, participate actively. Don't just sit down and just watch it happen. Get in there, meet people, introduce yourself, make those connections and have those experiences with other people. So then when you see them again, you can say, "Oh, that was so much fun. Remember that great thing that happened. Remember that conversation we had." And then that propels you forward in the relationship. So then you keep moving forward and you're persistent and it gets stronger. And then the last type of relationship at college that we're going to talk about is friendships, right? So again, put yourself out there. Don't worry about rejection. People want to be your friend. Most people in college are away from their families. They're looking for new people to meet. So sit down next to someone you don't know. Introduce yourself. Say, "Hey, how you doing today? My name's Hannah. I wanna get to know you." And that's one way to start those conversations.
Yes, and once you do start those conversations, make sure you try to stay connected. Because if you only reach out once, how do you know you'll ever see them again, especially if it was by chance? So, most definitely, after introducing yourself, you should ask for their social media, Instagram, Snapchat, maybe even Facebook if that's what you really love. And if all else fails, at least give them your number if you don't want them to look at your media accounts, because that would be a way to stay connected and catch up on them and maybe set up for another time to meet again.
Yes. And then, meeting them again, it goes back to following up. So as we said, people love talking about themselves. And they also love when in conversation you found a connection that you have or something that they love. When you then go back to that later and ask them about it, that shows that you care about them, you're listening to them. And that really strengthens the relationship and makes it, that much stronger. So that is all we have today, but Hanson and I would love to continue the conversation with you. So we have both of our emails listed. If you have any questions about relationships, you want to form a new relationship with us, we're not going to reject you. So that's one quick step right out of the way. Shoot us each an email. Let us know how you're doing, how maybe you use this presentation. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, so please do not hesitate to email either of us. We're always open and willing to meet new people and ready to form new bonds, especially in times like these.
Yes, so go out there and form those relationships, alrighty? Thanks.
Bye, thank you.